As you can see, I cleaned up the front of it, and it looks considerably blurrier. No, it looks considerably better. As you can see, the only thing I need to do is like retro bright this. This guy is okay, but I cleaned up the front plastic, and it's much brighter. Also, I did some research and found out that the 486, now it says a 486 SX, but I think it's been upgraded to a DX2. Anyway, gosh, I'm mixing them up. Okay, this guy, I cleaned up, and it's a lot better now, and I'll still do the video about the software, whatnot, but with this guy, the Compact, focus. That doesn't want to focus today. There we go. The 48666, that guy, when Duke Nukem 3D was made, you really needed a Pentium for it. Not a 486DX, even a DX4 slogged, and that's all. The reason why I have a spare power supply, and if we come over and make sure it's plugged in, is that in all my previous videos of this computer, I had been marveling at how quiet the power supply was. I don't think I mentioned it in the video, it's just I was thinking to myself, wow, this is a fairly quiet power supply. Problem is, the reason why it was so quiet is that the fan had been jammed. I noticed that after testing the system a little bit longer and noticing that the entire case was getting warm, which is never a good sign. I traced the heat back to where the power supply was, I unplugged everything, turned it off, and inspected the power supply unit. Turned out that the fan is seized. So when I unseized it, here's what you now hear. That's the power supply fan. I don't know if you can even hear me over the noise, probably can. That is the fan for the power supply. And yes, I have oiled it, I've oiled the bearings. What's happening is, as it's worn, it has become counterbalanced, and the bearing is actually scraping metal on metal. So what is occurring is that it's now counterbalanced, and as it spins, the blades are hitting the side of the fan shroud. So I'm planning to put this power supply in this computer. The old power supply is out, and now it's time to put the new one in. So I'll be back when I put the new one in. One upside to installing this power supply, immediately obvious, is that since there aren't a million wires, wire control is actually a lot better now. So I have all these ribbon cables nice and bundled away, and I hooked up the power supply, the power switch, and I screwed in the power supply, so let's hope it works. Here comes the fun part, or what some people colloquially will say, smoke test. I hope it works. Seems to be working. It's counting up the RAM. Okay, it works. Wow. I'm genuinely surprised. That's a good surprise. Now that we've handled the power supply, there's one more fan that needs to be fixed. Also, computers work a lot better if you plug them in. I was rerouting the wires. Don't know if you can see because it's way too dark. I can't find my flashlight. Here it is. But let's jump start it. The CPU fan is on its way out also. So I have, for your viewing pleasure, a replacement one. And this one is really quite quiet. So let's power down. Unplug the fan header, and we'll swap the fan out. I apologize that you can't see it that well. After choosing the lesser of the two evils, I finally decided to put a fan on it. Since I presume the chip has either been overclocked or upgraded, it seems to get fairly hot. Now I don't think it can damage itself for what I'm going to use it for, but I might as well put a fan on it. The fan is much quieter than what it had before. For comparison, let's unplug the new fan. And this is it without a fan. And that's really nice and quiet, but then it'll overheat. This is it. This is the old fan. I mean, let alone the old fan doesn't even work that well. When it was on the base, it sounded something like that, which is way faster, I mean way louder than the other one. So I don't know, I'll go looking for another fan, but for now this is what I'll use. Not this one, the other one. I'll probably upload this separately, because I'm doing nothing to do with software. I'm just doing more hardware. Let's just plug this guy back in. My phone is actually running out of space. I need to go and copy stuff over quickly, or this recording will stop because it's running out of space. So yeah, this has been Zesty Panda with technically part 2 of the Gateway video. The Gateway 2000, that is.